Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here today again with Dr. Arlene Taylor, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you should know about H3O. Dr. Arlene, I interviewed you some time ago, and we were talking about hydrogen water. And in our exchange, you came up with the most brilliant illustration. It was clear, it was simple, it was a perfect analogy for what's the whole point of having an extra hydrogen molecule in the water. What does that do for us? And I would just love if you would just share that analogy with me again, that beautiful story, so I can find it and share it with my friends.
Well, I'm happy to, Wendy, but that was a spur of the moment thing. We were talking and I was casting about in my mind for what can I do to make this easier to understand? Because you say the word free radicals and people just kind of zone out. What is that?
Right.
So, you know that I grew up in Canada. I was born in Calgary, Alberta. And we joke in Canada that we can all skate before we can walk. And it's not exactly like that, but you will see really little kids out there learning to skate and little tiny hockey sticks, because believe me, it's a national sport.
Wow.
So picture this in your mind. You've got this huge, beautiful skating rink, and you've got people out there skating, having a wonderful time. And then you notice that while most people have two skates on, there are a few people that only have one skate on. And they're trying to maneuver around this rink using that skate almost like a little scooter. And it's not effective. And so they trip somebody who has two skates. They grab that skate, put it on. Now they're whizzing around, and this poor skater is now trying to move around with one skate on and one skate off.
Right.
Now, that is very analogous to free radicals. You're always going to have free radicals. Some of them will be good, most of them will be bad. And they have lost, this piece that resembles a skate.
Right.
And hydrogen water gets onto the ice with a bag full of skates, handing out skates to everybody to fare thee well. And that neutralizes the free radicals. You'll probably never neutralize them all.
Right.
But come on, other antioxidants like fresh fruits and vegetables and vitamin C and vitamin E and beta carotene, they're all wonderful, but they've got to be digested. Hydrogen water doesn't have to be digested. It just hits the ice, handing out skates. And that allows damage to be tamped down in the brain and the body.
Right. So like that's such a, I almost can picture, like that hydrogen molecule with all of its electrons holding hands, everyone skating in synchrony. And if one of those has a missing skate, it can cause the whole lot to crash.
Exactly.
So
bumping into people, stealing skates, it's very ugly.
Very ugly. So I love it. And we talked about that. I liked the analogy of hydrogen water being generous. It's generous water. It's giving your body things it needs, coming along, coming beside and supporting and giving those molecules exactly what they need so that you can function well. So I just love that picture so much. So when I drink hydrogen water, I feel extra smart because I'm already doing something. Drinking water is good for me, but by adding that hydrogen molecule, I know that I am fighting inflammation, and I'm not fighting it with ibuprofen or Tylenol, or I'm fighting it the way that my body can turn anti-inflammatory. And that's just such a beautiful thing.
Well, you asked me one time, what were my favorite facts about hydrogen water?
Yeah.
I'm going to make this really simple, Wendy. I only have one overriding benefit. Hydrogen water is a potent and fast-acting antioxidant. And it not only helps to, neutralize these harmful free radicals, but it can prevent unnecessary inflammation, which really has everything also to do with free radicals. So here's a little piece that I just got 3 days ago, research. And I
Okay.
made myself some notes. Last month, Canadian researchers, my native land,
There you
although
go.
I'm delighted to be an American now, but there's something about your country of origin that's always within you.
Always.
They reported this. There is a free radical antioxidant imbalance in the blood in early Alzheimer's disease.
Wow.
You get that?
I do.
There's an imbalance between the amount of free radicals and the antioxidant protection. And because of this imbalance, now you can pick that up in the blood, and it can be identified up to 5 years before the onset of Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So now they're saying potentially taking in more antioxidants might at least retard the development of Alzheimer's, if not completely prevent it. I'm in that for 1,000%.
Right.
And the reason that I'm more excited about hydrogen water than even the fruits and vegetables and the other vitamins is because, as I said earlier, they've got to be digested. You drink hydrogen water, it's distributing,
Right.
H ions right off the bat.
So there we go. You heard it from her. It's powerful, fast acting, potent antioxidants straight into your system, pre-digested. They don't have to be digested. They go to work right away. And, if there's something, you and I've discussed before that my family, there's a history of dementia and Alzheimer's. So here I am, I'm in my early 50s. I want to do absolutely every possible thing I can for prevention, and to do everything I can in my power to do so. It was one of my biggest factors in choosing to get a hydrogen water machine, was so that I could have those benefits to my brain, to my thinking, to longevity. Everything that's in my power, as much as life within me, I want to do. So this is something that's in my power to do, simply drinking hydrogen water. So it's such a
We're
gift.
so lucky, Wendy, in a way, because yes, my father died of a dementia. We did not do an autopsy to determine whether it was actually Alzheimer's disease. It is the most common cause of dementia.
Right.
But he was a very sharp man, and it broke my heart to watch him go downhill. He before he died, he still remembered me, although he didn't remember most anybody else.
Right.
Because we bonded so early in life. My mother had profound postpartum depression before we knew what that was, and couldn't even hold me for the first 4 months after I was born.
Yeah, that's hard. Right.
And my father took over. But looking back, my father did not drink a lot of water. Every once in a while, he'd get really bad breath. And my mother would say, maybe you need to drink some more water, Warren. And he might go get a glass. But he didn't grow up drinking. He didn't develop that. And I wonder if we had known more, if maybe some of that could have been delayed. But we didn't even know about hydrogen water when he died.
Right.
So we're getting more and more information, and it's exciting for me, because remember, I'm aiming to be a super centenarian.
I totally believe you'll be a super centenarian. I believe it. Well, thank you as always. Like, that is, you really were the convincing factor. After that chat we had about the ice skates, that's when I put my order in for a hydrogen water machine. It was that convincing to me.
I want to ask you, do you notice a difference since you started to do this?
I 100% notice a difference. It's now my habit it never was my habit to drink water first thing in the morning. That was not my habit. Now, when I wake up I go to bed, I have water beside me at night. I drink full thing of water in the morning, and then I have my Enterprime and Delta E in hydrogen water. And I find I believe it gets into me more quickly because the hydrogen water is pure and clean, and it seems like that the effects of that Delta E and Enterprime kind of get into my system.
Well, as it's dissolved in water and you know that the hydrogen water is going in quickly, of course it's going to carry some stuff.
It gets there much more quickly. And I find personally, I'm drinking much more water and much less of every other kind of beverage since the hydrogen water machine got in the house. And I will say I've noticed it in my whole family. I might be doing it intentionally, but I'm noticing they're doing it. And it's just because that's what they want, is they want water. And I hear them go in and fill it up. Everyone's bypassing the water at the refrigerator. No one touches it. Everyone goes and gets the water from the machine. So
good, because that's the proof of the pudding.
That's the proof in the pudding. People who are not even convinced are doing it naturally because their body is responding to it. And it tastes better. It clearly is doing something for them. So without anyone directing them to do it, because it's available, they're doing it. So anyone out there, like if this is something you want, particularly if you have small children in your home, this is something you could actually impact their habits for a lifetime by providing access to alkaline hydrogen water. It's incredible. So, all right. Well, thank you, Dr. Arlene. Again, that was a great segment. If you haven't, I encourage you guys, go to ionthrive.com. There is more information there about hydrogen water, what it does. Both of us really do love the Ion Thrive machine. We love the engineering and the care that's behind it. It does it without adding any chemicals or anything like that. Such great filtration. It taking bad things out of the water, and there's minerals still in the water. So we would both encourage you just to visit, check it out for yourself. There's more than enough research, but it's something that has made a difference in my life. And clearly it's something that Dr. Arlene is a fan of, having hydrogen water in her life as well.
Well, let me make one last comment, because I was lecturing to a large group of professionals who work with people who are beginning to evidence dementia. And somebody, not me, somebody brought up the hydrogen water. And one of them said, yeah, but it's expensive. Isn't it close to $3,000? And somebody else looked at this person and said, how much does it cost per month for one person to be in a mental health care facility? 10 grand. Do the math, he said. Right. Because it might not prevent everything, but it can, we believe, slow down the progression of disease. And it may not be reversible, but the people that I know anecdotally who are drinking hydrogen water seem more alert.
Right.
So, $10,000 a month is a lot of money.
Even at that, because it helps your body with inflammation so much. Think about the things, just arthritis or all the things in our body where inflammation is a key. It's like the building block of all disease, if I could say it that way. Inflammation is such the culprit. There are no disease processes in the body that do not have inflammation as part of it. So anything that we can do that's anti-inflammatory, that's good for us. Not having to take chemicals and other pharmaceuticals that, okay, they might take down inflammation, but they're also destroying your liver at the same time. So I would say for myself, even, I have had a decrease in pain in my joints since drinking hydrogen water as a regular basis. I spend 10 or 12 hours a day at my desk, always working. And I know that's anecdotal, but I do believe it's a result of drinking so much hydrogen water. One, that my joints just are more lubricated, but two, because my body is more anti-inflammatory. Mm-hmm. So, I definitely am a fan. I'm definitely a fan of my hydrogen water machine. Not out there. I'm not out there selling them. It's something I enjoy, and it has done a good job for me. And so I love spreading the word to my friends, anything that can be helpful to them. So, Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Arlene. This was great, a great chat. Thank you always for your time. You're just so thoughtful and so easy to talk to. It's hard not to go on forever with you.
Well,
So
it's because our brains like to chat with each other.
our
Wendy.
brains like to chat with, we like people of like nature and ability. That's just a thing to do. So it's always a pleasure, always pleasant to talk with you. Thank you so much.